Hello everybody, can y'all hear me all right? Gonna load up my video game application here. Just gonna play some games. Hoping I can get my webcam to show up. Yep, there it is. Although it's not particularly bright. I have to like get close to it for it to be bright. The lighting in here isn't that great. How are y'all doing? Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. I'm going to open up the chat in my phone real quick just to make sure. Hello, hello. 9 concurrent viewers. Wow, that's like, I don't think that's a peak for me, but let's see. I'm going to Sorry guys, I'm just trying to make sure everything is on the up and up. Please do let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay, looks like the display's up. Any feedback that I can get on the audio before I get started? I'm just gonna casually sit, talk with you guys, play a game, just kick it with you, shoot the shit. Gonna change this real quick. Sorry, my camera might cut out there. I just have to pull up my OBS so I can see, or no, not the OBS, but the chat so I can see what's going on. Let's see. All right, we are in here. Okay. Should be back now. Should be back. Yeah, it looks like I'm back. So, I'd love to know how you all are doing. I'm actually pretty happy because it looks like we have our first troll. I've done like, tens or dozens or whatever, plenty of these live streams. But I haven't had anybody troll yet, so I'm actually honored to get my first troll. Everybody, please give recognition to Mr. 50K subscribers with no videos, Ryan. He is our first troll. Congratulations, man. If I had a crown, if I had a Burger King crown, I would put it on your head. Good job, buddy. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Some folks from India are in here. Hello, welcome back. I recognize Gaurav Kumar. Welcome back. Thanks for all your support. I appreciate it. Then there's Kadakam Pragathi. Says Namaste, sir, in Hindi from India. Welcome, welcome. Hello from the United States. Innovative Science says hello from India. Hello right back at you from the US. And he asks, what kind of game are you playing? I just figure I'd just get on here and play some old Super Nintendo games. These are like games that I treasured when I was in, my early childhood. As a kid, I love these games, but more importantly, I just wanted to get on here and just talk with you guys, see how y'all are doing. So, first game I'm going to play, hopefully it works. This is the first time I've ever done this before, so please bear with me. Although I would like to know, how the audio is going. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Just type a Y, a letter Y in the chat if you can hear me just fine. Type an N in the chat if you can't. I would appreciate it. Don't see any Y's just yet, but I don't know. I have to fix my latency settings or something like that. From what I understand about latency, it's like, the more you improve your latency, the less you improve your quality. So like there's an inverse relationship between video quality and latency. Sorry, I can't talk. Okay, got a couple of Y's in the chat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this game. Let me know if the game is too loud. I can always fix it. I tested this earlier. I had a little bit of audio problems with the game, like a lot of double registering of little audio sounds in the game. But we're going to go ahead and give it a shot, and hopefully it works. This is Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. One of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to play the game, read some messages from the chat, answer questions, whatever you guys want to do, and also give you guys some updates along the way. 50k subscribers with no videos. Orion says, hey, clan, IP, electromagnetic waves, physics, we are not there. Is a good way or not? My parents are in the answer. Your day is YOLO, BTS, how many times a good? Wow, I don't understand what any of that meant. But nonetheless, thank you for your message. Thank you for your chat message. By the way, speaking of chat messages, I do have super chats enabled. So if you are in a kind, charitable mood, if you are interested in sending me a super chat, as a token of your appreciation for all the hard work that I put into these videos, I would certainly appreciate it. If not, no biggie. It's all good. All right. So everything good with the audio? I don't want the audio of the game to sort of overpower the audio of my voice. That would not be cool. Like I said, trying to make sure the audio is not too loud. The game isn't really important. It's just a little fun thing that I can do while I'm chatting with you guys. So if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatevers, please let me know. We'll talk about it. And then I guess maybe in a couple minutes I can start sort of giving you guys some exciting updates from my end of things. I really am happy, looking forward to share them with you. Oh, little token down here. Almost missed it. I have to pull up my phone and get the chat open because I got my 2 monitors set up right here, but my second monitor is a little slow, and I think it's because the dock that I'm using isn't a very nice, powerful, expensive dock. So I'm gonna open the chat on my phone as soon as oh no, wow, I can't believe I didn't even clear that bonus level. I'm gonna try that again. Alright, got the chat open on my phone in addition to my computer so I can read anything that you guys send me. By the way, all 9 of you who are in here, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I love all of you, unconditionally. I don't care what you do. I will still love you. Come on, get over there. Used to be a lot better at this game. Not so much anymore. A little rusty. Oh yeah, DK coin. I think I'm showing my age a little bit by playing this game. It's an old one. Oldie but goldie. This is for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, aka the best console of all time. And if you don't agree, you're a loser. I'm just kidding. I'll try to move my computer toward me a little bit to get some better lighting. Don't have good lighting in here. Harshini D says, is this a chem classes channel or a gaming channel? Just a doubt. It's a chemistry channel, but I still like to mess around and just chat occasionally. I do have some updates as far as some equipment that I've recently haven't acquired yet, but I've ordered it to resume doing my chemistry content. So I guess I can go ahead and provide that update now. So in a previous stream, I told you guys that I'm going to be sort of going back to my older way of making content where I have a camera sort of pointing downward at my hands, using a whiteboard or some paper and markers and stuff like that. And I have recently ordered some equipment to help me do that. One thing that I ordered, which I'm not actually sure if it's going to be useful, but I kind of ordered it because it was like an Amazon Lightning deal. I ordered a it's like a little phone stand that has like a little ring light. So it's good for like filming on your phone for little quick videos if I don't want to set up my camcorder, things like that. And then, so I ordered that 2 days ago. And then yesterday I ordered like a a camera mount that is like, it kind of clamps down to the side of a table, and it can allow my camcorder, like my HD 1080p camcorder, to point downward. So I'm really excited to unbox that bad boy and put it to the test. I think that's going to be awesome. So definitely some old schooly content, the way I used to do it 8 years or so ago, is coming back. I just have to get the equipment to do it. But yeah, so hopefully, oh no. Andrew Jackson is in the chat saying, love your vids. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. I love your support. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot to hear you say that. Jack Doherty says, I have a chem test today. Interesting. Interesting. What topic? What chemistry topics are you studying? Is it like general, organic? What is it? Doing some naming of compounds and stuff. Would love to know. Oh, come on. Having a hard time killing this guy. There he goes. And he's dead. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of delay, so I'll go ahead and give Jack a chance to tell me what topics he's going over in his chem class. Anybody else in the chat who wants to wish Jack good luck on his chem test today, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Let's all just come together here and tell him good luck. Basic general stuff, compound naming, and molecular geometry right now. That's really interesting because, in my experience, doing like molecular geometry like that traditionally is taught long after simple, naming, like nomenclature stuff. But nonetheless, those are two topics that I really enjoy. So hopefully you enjoy them as much. Hopefully you nail that test. I would love it. Yeah, I would love to know how it goes. So get back to me if you don't mind. Just send me a message. Let me know how it went. I would love to know. If there's any last minute questions you have about molecular geometry, I could be more than happy to answer them. And that goes for anybody. If anybody has any chemistry questions about anything, feel free to ask them. You can ask them here. You could send me a message. I think if you go to my channel page, my email's in there. Also, I have a Discord server, so that's a pretty easy way to get into direct contact with me if you like. Harshini D says, "Good luck, rock the test." Excellent, excellent. See, that's the important thing. We gotta have plenty of support in here. We gotta look out for each other. The benzenes have to look out for each other. Oh, that's right. I just named our community the benzenes. Maybe I'll publish a video announcing it. I put out a poll a few months ago asking what my name for my community should be. And there was a lot of support for the name benzenes. Presumably because it has my name, Ben, in it. And I don't know, benzene rings are just cool. They're cool looking. Little hexagon with alternating single and double bonds. Or a little hexagon with a circle in the middle. It's a cool looking molecule. Love me some benzene. Although, if you ever do work with benzene, or if you're ever around benzene, exercise extreme caution because benzene is on the list of suspected carcinogens. I'm not even sure. It might not even be a suspected carcinogen. Benzene might actually be like a full-blown, like they know it's a carcinogen. So just be careful. And that goes for every chemical that you work with in a laboratory. Just be careful with it. Don't get complacent. Complacency kills. Complacency causes serious accidents. Most accidents, people get damage to their injury to their eyes and stuff like that. And most of that could be avoided by just wearing your safety glasses, There's a reason why we have them. Because they work. They don't always work. Sometimes stuff splashes through underneath them. I've had that happen before. I got some, my first day on the job, not at my current job, but at my previous job, my first day on the job, I had acetone splash right into my eyes. And I was wearing glasses too. It splashed right underneath, like from the bottom, like from below. It splashed upward. and got up under my glasses and got me right in the eye. Had to walk over to the eye wash station, and you know, I was okay. You know, I can see perfectly now. I can, you know, didn't really hinder my vision or anything. But if that was like, you know, concentrated hydrochloric acid or something, that would have been, man, that would have been pretty gnarly. So Jack Doherty says, just glad there isn't too much involved in this unit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's nice to sort of take things slow, you know, because you'll find, I don't know what your major is. I mean, feel free to tell me what your major is, but you'll find that, you know, when you get into some of those upper level classes, the pace is just ridiculous. And it's like, how could anybody expect me to be able to digest all this content? You know, even if that was your only class, it's hard, but it's like you have like, you know, 4 other classes or something. It's a little shortcut, little portal through the level that I found when I was a kid. It just takes you right to the end of the level. I think all of these levels in the first sort of world have like a portal to the end, but this is the only one that I've memorized how to find. A little hidden trick. But anyway, yeah, it's good when the units sort of move slowly. There's not too much on the test. What is my name? Swanky. I like these little game shows. Area of this island. Eye wash station, my laboratory, is always a source of great curiosity for me. Yeah, well, I don't know who's responsible for maintaining it, because usually like there's an eye wash station right next to whoops. First name of the level in the game. Enemy boss, Captain K. Rool. Yeah, I don't know who's responsible for maintaining your eye wash station in your laboratory, but it's important to, like, because it'll collect, like, you know, maybe not rust, but like some kind of buildup, some kind of hard water stains and stuff like that. So it's important to occasionally, you know, turn it on and put some water through it, so that, you know, God forbid if somebody actually needs to use it, you know, they go to wash their eyes out and they don't just shoot a bunch of like nasty mineral buildup into their eyes. So you should have somebody in your lab or somebody, like some kind of environmental health and safety department that comes around and services your eye wash and your shower fairly regularly. If they don't, then that can be something that you do. You can take on that responsibility. People will thank you for it. Maybe not. Oh yeah. Just got all my extra lives here. If you ever do need the eye wash station, just know that for some reason the pressure on those eye wash stations is like ridiculous. It only takes a little bit of motion, just a little bit of force on that little lever, on that little handle, to get the eye wash water to come out pretty good. You don't want to push it all the way because it'll shoot out really, really fast. I don't know why they enable it to shoot out so darn fast, but they do. Let's see. Read a question here. What is the difference between constant volume calorimetry and constant pressure? Oh, that's a good question. That's a great question. It's funny because I actually, you know, not to plug shamelessly, but I actually do have videos on these topics. I have a video called Constant Volume Calorimetry, and I have a video called Constant Pressure Calorimetry, and both of these videos can be found in my thermochemistry playlist. You go to my channel page, my playlists are right there on the front page of the channel. And you can find those videos. Just go to the thermochemistry playlist. You can find them. But to answer your question, though, so constant volume calorimetry is generally used to find the change in internal energy, or delta E. It's also called delta U, depending on whether you're studying general or physical chemistry, depending on what part of the planet you're on. So like I said, constant volume calorimetry is used to find the change of internal energy associated with a given chemical reaction. And then constant pressure calorimetry is used to find the change in enthalpy, or delta H, which is equivalent to the amount of heat that's absorbed or released by a system under conditions of constant pressure. So the apparatuses are a little bit different. A constant volume calorimeter is usually like a very rigid steel. They call it a bomb. You've probably heard the term bomb calorimeter. that's really what bomb calorimeters do. They perform constant volume calorimetry. And so you have that rigid steel container that resists any kind of change in volume. It'll keep the same volume throughout the entire process, even if there's some kind of even if there would be some sort of exothermic reaction or an expansion in there, the volume will keep it intact, and that's how you measure the change in internal energy pretty easily. So if you want to get more information on that, you can watch that video. So Andrew Jackson says, I watched them all. Okay, cool. So I hope that answers your question pretty good. Although I could talk about it a little bit more. Why not? Nobody else is chatting about anything, unless you want to. Anybody who's willing to type a message. Oh no, I can't believe I just died. I'm just so involved in answering the question that I just suck at the game now. So what was I talking about? Yeah, so constant volume calorimetry. The apparatus is like the steel sort of bomb, and you have like this this ignition wire, that lights up your sample, and it burns or whatever, and you have a stir in there. You have a thermometer in there, and you can get the change in temperature, and you can sort of manipulate the equations and derive your way to calculate the change in internal energy. And then you have constant pressure calorimetry, which is usually a much simpler apparatus. You can do it in just your, you could do it in like a high school laboratory. You can just have two coffee cups, one inside the other, and that provides pretty good insulation. And then you have like a loose-fitting lid on the top, and the lid must be loose-fitting to ensure that the reaction that's going to happen inside takes place under constant pressure. If it's not loose-fitting, then any pressure or vacuum built up in the coffee cup is going to throw your calculations off, because the calculations will only work to calculate delta H if it's under constant pressure. So Andrew Jackson says, thanks. Delta E and delta H all equivalent to the heat generated? Not necessarily. Oh man, wow. So delta E, that's internal energy, right? So that's the sum of the change in heat and the change in work, right? So so you can think of internal energy as sort of being manifested in two ways. One of them is through the process of heat, and one of them is through the process of work. Heat, of course, is the flow of thermal energy caused by a difference in temperature between a system and its surroundings. And then work is the action of a force moving through a distance, okay? So, and I use that terminology very deliberately, right? I say that the process of heat, right? The process of work. These are both processes. They're not really entities. So you might think of heat as like a thing, but it's really not a thing. It's more of a process. It's a way by which energy can flow between a system and its surroundings, right? And then you have enthalpy, which is the sum of the internal energy and the product of, so you have delta H equals delta E plus another term, which is the product of pressure and volume, or product of change in pressure and volume. So if you have if your pressure is constant, then obviously your change in pressure is zero, and so that term sort of simplifies to delta H is equal to just the heat. So sorry, that probably didn't answer your question too well. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple more questions in here. Let me pause the game because these questions are more important. Unless you want me to keep playing, let me know in the and by the way, since I'm answering chemistry questions, I'm offering some valuable content here. I think if you agree, then you're more than welcome to send a super chat if you like. I'd appreciate it. I have enabled them recently, so feel free to send me a super chat if you want. Okay, so Harshini D says, in chemical kinetics, give an example of a chemical reaction which is having fractional order? You know, I don't know one off the top of my head. You know, in general chemistry, typically you only talk about, you know, like a simple decomposition reaction where you have one reactant decomposing into products. It makes the calculations a lot easier, and it, you know, it avoids using things like calculus and integration and stuff like that, which most people who study general chemistry, they don't really know their calculus all that well just yet. And generally, for that single reactant decomposing into products system, you have, you know, usually they only discuss zero first and second order reactions and their associated, you know, integrated rate laws and their half-life expressions and their units of the rate constant and all that stuff. So unless you're taking some high-level chemistry, which maybe the standards are just higher in India or wherever you are, in general chemistry, you usually won't have to worry about that. But yeah, unfortunately though, just to answer your question though, I really can't answer your question because I don't have a fractional order kinetic, you know, reaction memorized. But I'd be happy to dig for information and give you an example of one, because I do know that fractional orders do exist. So let's see. Hattie Butt says, I'm writing physics on Friday and chemistry on Monday. Our curriculum is different to the American system, but wish me luck. Oh, okay, yeah. Good luck to you, man. Chemistry on one day, physics on the next day. That's it's quite a load, but I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you're extremely intelligent and you can handle it. Everybody in the chat saying good luck, Hattie. Good job, guys. You gotta stick out for each other. Good stuff. Let's see. Jack Doherty says valence bond theory, sigma and pi bonds. Yep. I have videos on that. I do have videos on that. What would you like to know about valence bond theory and sigma and pi bonds? I'd be happy to talk about it. So valence bond theory is basically the whole idea behind valence bond theory is, you know, you have atoms, right? And the electrons of those atoms are best described in terms of orbitals, right? Orbitals are regions of space where the electrons are likely to be found, right? And under the theory called valence bond theory, a chemical bond is basically treated as an overlap of orbitals. So you have two atoms coming together, they each have their own orbitals, and then under valence bond theory, the bond is treated sort of mathematically and three-dimensionally as an overlap between those two orbitals, right? And out of valence bond theory comes a very seemingly popular concept called hybridization, right? And hybridization is the phenomenon in which standard atomic orbitals like your s orbitals and your p orbitals come together to form hybrid orbitals. And the three most common hybridizations are sp3, sp2, and sp. So sp3, that's when you have one s orbital and three p orbitals coming together to form four sp3 hybrid orbitals that are all identical and also asymmetric about the nucleus. They have like one small lobe and one big lobe. And the way that they do that, and the reason why they do that, the reason why these orbitals form like these lopsided asymmetric shapes is because they can maximize their overlap that way, and they can reduce their potential energy by maximizing their overlap and spreading the charge out as much as possible. So that's basically valence bond theory. Then you have sp2 hybridization, where you have an s orbital and two p orbitals coming together to form three sp2 hybrids. And then you have sp orbitals, where you have one s orbital and one p orbital coming together to form two sp hybrids. So, yeah, you know, it's funny because back in the day, like this is probably like over a decade ago by now. One of the first videos I ever uploaded on a very, very cheap, god awful phone. I mean, it was nice at the time, but the video recording capabilities and the audio were just completely, just awful. Awful. I uploaded a video by request. Somebody asked me to do a video on hybridization, and I said yes, and I did it. And that video just blew up. I don't know why. I don't know why people were so interested in hybridization. Maybe it's just a commonly misunderstood term. I don't know. But that video to this day has like, I think, over 1 million hits. Even though, so it's an interesting sort of eye-opening experiment, because just because, you know, the quality on that video wasn't great, like what I'm trying to say is you don't need a really good quality video for it to be good, for it to be successful, for it to resonate with people, for them to like it, and for it to get a lot of views. So 1 mil, wow, yeah, over 1 million. If anybody wants to look that up, the video is called SP3, SP2, and SP hybridization. If anybody wants to look that up to get a current view count, I'm actually kind of curious about that. So yeah, interesting. So there's a couple of people who have typed in the chat that they would like to send a super chat, but they don't have any money. No worries, man. To both of you guys who have typed that, I totally understand. No problem at all. I've been there too. So not a problem. Just the fact that you're in the chat, the fact that you're asking questions, showing support is more than enough. I just thought I'd ask, because sometimes people want, people who have the means to do charitable things, they want to do it, and they just, they don't know yet, or they're not informed about, how they can donate. So if you can't, that is absolutely fine. No worries at all. My content will still be free. So a couple other messages in the chat. So Tet 2005 says, "What's up? What's up, Tet? Hey, welcome, Donkey Kong. Haha, yep. I love me some Donkey Kong, dude. And it's my channel, so even if it's not related to chemistry, I do whatever the hell I want, and that's how it goes." What else? Julian says 1.1 million views at the moment. Yeah, for a really shitty quality video. How about that? Isn't that crazy? I have videos with way better production quality that don't get nearly as many hits. So that kind of blows my mind. Let's see. I think the literal name for Ben's Chem videos would be Benjamin's Chemical Science Experiment Media Productions. Yeah, I love that has a nice ring to it. I might actually change my channel to that name. Benjamin's Chemical Science Entertainment Media Productions. I love it. That's such a great suggestion. Appreciate it, man. Love it, love it, love it. NN Gaming says hi. Hello, NN Gaming. How you doing? Oh, man. I can't get to that barrel. Oh, now I can, because the enemies respawn. Yes. Yeah, this is Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, one of my favorite games of all time. It is a great game. But and by the way, for those of you who are, oh, this isn't chemistry, and you should call yourself gaming and all this. Sorry, I didn't mean to do such a reductive impression of you. Thank you for being here. But, even though I'm playing a game, I'm just hanging out, and we're talking about chemistry, so, it's still chemistry related. So, and also, I announced earlier that I've recently ordered some new equipment that I'm going to use to go back to doing my old school chemistry videos, where I have like a camera pointing downward at my hands on a whiteboard using paper, things like that. I'm just kind of waiting for that equipment to get here, and then I can use it and provide some good quality chemistry content for you guys. So for those of you who are not really interested in me messing around playing games talking about chemistry, you're more interested in me doing tutorials, I hear you, and the content is coming, rest assured. Harshini says, "Bye, sorry sir, bye, it's midnight here." Okay, man. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Get some good rest, all right? Let's see. Andrew Jackson says, "Imagine your teacher teaching while playing video games. He must be popular." You know what? Actually, man, I've done that. I used to be a teacher, as maybe some of you probably know, and I actually showed my students. That sucks. I showed my students a Little Big Planet level that I created when I was in college, and it was a chemistry-themed Little Big Planet level. It's called Chem Quiz. Let me type that in the chat real quick. So if anybody has Little Big Planet, which is on PlayStation, check out Chem Quiz on Little Big Planet. There we go. I just typed it in the chat. So, and it was cool. Like the kids actually really enjoyed it because it was kind of bridging the gap between, you know, video games, which all the kids really like. Of course, I mean, they're video games. Video games are awesome. I can't blame them for liking video games. But yeah. Oh, by the way, oh man, Julian says I don't own my PS3 anymore, though. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, even though you can't play the game, you could still watch my walkthrough video. So I actually uploaded a video called Chem Quiz. I think it's called Chem Quiz, my little Big Planet level. Let's see. I'm typing it in the chat right now. Typing in the chat right now. Yeah, so I just dropped in the chat the title of the video. It's called Chem Quiz, my little Big Planet level. So if you want to, if you're curious about that and you want to see, you know, what that's all about, that's where you would go. And it was cool. I actually really had a good time. Like I really enjoyed making the video, or making the level. It was a lot of fun. It took a lot of time though. It was a huge time sink. And I talk about this in the video, but it was basically like an exercise in procrastination. I just didn't want to study, so I'd work on my video. I keep saying work on my video, work on my level. But anyway, Andrew Jackson says 900 views. What do you mean? Is that on my Little Big Planet walkthrough? It only had 900 views. Yeah, it didn't do that well. There's a lot of my videos that just, you know, they don't have a lot of views. It's funny because it's like, you know, people ask me, like, one of the first questions, if I ever tell somebody that I have a YouTube channel, one of the first questions I get is, how many subscribers do you have? And I'm like, oh, you know, it's like 62,000, whatever. And they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm like, it's really not as crazy as you might imagine, because even though, you know, because all that the number of subscribers represents is the number of people who, you know, clicked that button and didn't unsubscribe. You know, that doesn't mean that they're actively viewing your content. Either they click the button and just haven't clicked unsubscribed yet, or, you know, they click the button and their account hasn't been, you know, terminated for inactivity. So that's really all it means. So even though I have a decent amount of subscribers, that does not mean that I get a decent amount of views. And a lot of my videos reflect that, and I just don't get a lot of views. So I got to figure out how to make content that really appeals to more people. That's on me. Oh yeah, invincibility, baby. Get the hell out of here. There's somewhere I'm supposed to go with this invincibility. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm dead. Sorry, guys. So yeah, Andrew Jackson said yes, he was talking about my Little Big Planet level video, 900 views. That's what I thought. He says, nah, quality content incentivizes them to subscribe in the first place. Yeah, I know, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe, you know, maybe once I get back to doing my videos my old school way, then the views will start ramping up again. Maybe, you know, showing my face and doing all this editing and all this bells and whistles and stuff like that, maybe that stuff isn't really what people want to see. You know, maybe that's what the market is telling me. Maybe that's what the viewership numbers are telling me. And I'm happy to you know, listen to the market and, you know, sort of conform to what the people want. I mean, obviously, like, while still keeping it mostly chemistry related, I don't want to just sell out and just do a bunch of pranks, you know, because I did do a video with one prank where I inhaled sulfur hexafluoride at a drive-through and talked to them in a really deep voice. I don't want to do nothing but pranks. I really want to keep the channel largely educational. But, you know, at some point, you know, I think every content creator, and I've said this before, but I think every content creator sort of faces that dilemma where, you know, you're looking at, you know, what attracts attention, what gets views versus, you know, what you actually want to do. And my main objective is to sort of, you know, educate the world. But, you know, at the same time, if nobody's listening, you know, you might as well be jumping out. Oh, I'm going to die again. Oh, I made it. You might as well be, you know, screaming out the window of your car if nobody's listening. You could have the best content in the world, but, you know, if nobody knows anything about it, then it sucks. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just got On Guard. This is the adorable little swordfish. His name is On Guard. Can you tell I'm a Donkey Kong nerd? Oh yes. But anyway. Go pick him back up again. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. Quality content is what incentivizes them. But yeah, and that's kind of a problem that I have, is that, you know, I don't really do a lot of like research. Like I don't really listen to what people tell me. Like, or I mean, not that I don't listen to what people tell me, but I don't listen to like what the numbers are telling me, right? If the numbers are telling me that they don't want to watch the kind of videos that I'm currently putting out, then crap. If the numbers are telling me that people don't want to watch the videos that I'm currently putting out, then, you know, I'm kind of stubborn. Like I tend to do just like what I want to do instead of like what the market is telling me that I should do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, this is not my full-time sort of gig. This is a hobby that makes me a little bit of change in ad revenue, which I'm happy to get. Maybe the occasional super chat, by the way. Anybody who happens to be new in here, who maybe doesn't know that I have super chats enabled, I do have super chats enabled, so you're more than welcome to send one if you want to. Otherwise, no big deal. Still appreciate you being in here. Oh man, I just missed that freaking seal. Anyway. So yeah. 12:41, so I'm about 41 minutes in to the stream. Thank you guys. Again, thank you so much for being in here, typing in your chat messages, showing the love, wishing each other well. Good luck on your tests and stuff. I actually was enjoying talking about, oh no, On Guard just walked away. Up, come on, there he goes. Okay. I was actually enjoying talking about chemistry stuff, so if there's any other chemistry topics you guys want to talk about, like, please, like, lay them on me. I love talking about this stuff, so. Anything you guys want to talk about? Well, I mean, I like talking about non-chemistry stuff too, but, you know, I'll always have a soft spot for the chemistry content, so. There we go. That's how I wanted to do it. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have tossed that barrel. I think there was a... Ah, man. Here, let me see if that barrel can respawn. Oh, I can't respawn the barrel. Maybe if I do this. There's one of these things that bursts open when you throw a barrel into it. All right, so let's... looks like I got a message in the chat. Oh, okay, so, Julian just typed in a message about, it's a gas problem and a fusion problem. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've worked with these, so I may not have the formula memorized. So I may not be able to answer it right here on the spot live, but that doesn't mean that I can't sort of steer you in the right direction with solving this problem. So when it comes to my content, right, so I actually do have a video that discusses effusion of gases, and it's called I'll see if I can type it in the chat real quick. I'm gonna pause this game, or I'm gonna just not play it and just focus on your question real quick. So it's called, hang on, I'm just typing it in the chat, bear with me. Okay, here it is. I just typed the title of the video in the chat. It's called, oh, I spelled it wrong, but it's called Mean Free Path. That third word is supposed to be path, not P-A-T-Y-X. What the hell is my autocorrect doing? I don't know what my autocorrect is smoking, but Mean Free Path, diffusion and effusion of gases. It has a formula. Somewhere in that video, it has a formula that you can plug your known values into to solve for the molar mass of the unknown gas. Unfortunately, I don't have it off the top of my head. And then GA just typed in Julian, look up Graham's law. It's a proportion. GA is correct. It is called Graham's law. Thanks for refreshing my memory on that. It's been a while since I've done it, but yeah, between looking up Graham's law and watching my video on that content, that should get you where you need to be to solve the problem. However, if that doesn't cut it, then feel free to reach out to me. Send me an email. Hit me up on Discord. We can have a private video call if you want, like whatever. I want to help as much as I can, as much as I'm available to help out. So here I am about 45 minutes into the stream, and I haven't given you guys sort of the most important update of all, which was the birth of my second daughter. So my daughter was born a few days ago. She was born on October 1st, 2020. So she was born, let's see, what were her measurements? She was 7 pounds, 7 ounces, and 19.5 inches in length. I'm sure a lot of you use the metric system, so you don't know what the hell an inch is, but I think it's like, 2.54 centimeters are in an inch. So everything is good. They did the hearing test on her. She can hear, which is great. She's not deaf or anything like that. We took her to the pediatrician yesterday. Pediatrician took a look at her. She's got a clean bill of health. And oh my goodness, she is absolutely beautiful. Right now she's with her mom, and I have my mom in town, so she's kind of helping out, watching our toddler, and helping us out with chores around the house and things like that. She is, newborn babies tend to be, she's a night owl. She likes to stay up and feed and cry and do all of her stuff at night, which is normal. It's very normal with newborns. And also, in the later stages of the pregnancy, she was just, like doing some freaking taekwondo in there, just kicking around, doing all this crazy stuff all at night. She was relatively docile and calm in the morning, sleeping presumably, but at night, that's when it was a party in there. So, but yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Wife's doing well. She's actually, like, compared to my first daughter, she's actually sleeping pretty good. I mean, it's only been a couple of nights, but doing pretty good. So, to those of you who have sent me, congratulations for, my daughter being born, thank you very much for your congratulations. I really, really, really appreciate it. But yeah, she's just amazing. So those are really like sort of the updates I wanted to give you guys. The one about my daughter being born, and then the fact that I've ordered some new equipment recently to help me keep the content going. Make new chemistry content in my old school way. Camera pointing down, looking at me on a whiteboard. I actually picked up a whiteboard and some dry erase pens yesterday. I got some Sharpie markers, all different colors. So I'm actually really, really excited to go back to the way that I used to make videos like over 8 years ago. It's just crazy that it's been that long. I mean, where has the time gone? 8 years ago, I was dating my wife, but we weren't engaged or married yet. Didn't have any kids, wasn't married, and now married, 2 kids, and going back to doing my old chemistry content. So let's see. I'll read some messages in the chat. Julian, is a fusion of gas tested on the AP? I think it should be. I'm taking AP chemistry. Okay, thanks. No problem. Cool. My teacher just assigned me to read a bunch of stuff, so I don't know. Yeah, I actually remember. I mean, I don't know. It was a long time ago when I took the AP exam, the AP chemistry exam. But there was I specifically remember a multiple choice question about it was a multiple choice question about which of the following gases would have the fastest rate of effusion through a pinhole. And obviously, if you know anything about effusion of gases, it's the lightest gas that's going to effuse. The one with the lowest molar mass that's going to effuse the fastest. So I think I got that question right, although it wasn't enough for me to pass the exam. I failed my AP chemistry exam. How sad is that? And now I'm an actual chemist. So just because you do poorly on something in high school doesn't mean you're doomed forever. Oh, where did the end go? I missed the end. Anyway. So since you guys are taking AP, I take that to mean that you guys are in high school, which is awesome. Sky's the limit. You guys are so young, got the whole Whole world in front of you. Very cool. I remember my high school days. Small town. That's where I grew up. Very, very small town in North Florida. I like these levels. I like the music of this level and just like all the little shiny like minerals and crystals in the background. I always thought that was cool. Oh man. Wow, there goes that DK barrel. Okay, good question from GA. He asks, what was the hardest class you took in college? Probably Physical Chemistry 2, I would say. Because I had kind of a 1-2 punch of like the content being really like advanced and mathematical and difficult, and a professor who, you know, was a very nice guy, you know, but he just didn't teach very well. He didn't speak English very well, and I just had a hard time with that class. So I think he ended up curving it. So even though most people scored very poorly, like I think I still ended up with like a B or something like that in the class, just because everybody did poorly. So, and I guess the professors have some kind of rule where, you know, oh man, I just died. I can't believe I just died. The professors are bound by some rule that they can't, you know, fail X amount or X percentage of their students or higher. So that's kind of what they do, is they'll kind of just pass everybody, or most people. But yeah, Physical Chemistry 2, which is an upper... Oh, I found another little portal to skip the level. That's nice. Physical Chemistry 2 was definitely the hardest class I ever took. Also, Inorganic Chemistry was really hard too. And I took them both at the same time. So that was a challenge, taking Inorganic Chemistry and Physical Chemistry 2. I'm trying to remember of my whole course load. So yeah, my course load that semester was insane. I had Physical Chemistry 2, I had Inorganic Chemistry, I had Advanced Analytical Chemistry, I had Advanced Analytical Chemistry Lab, and I had Physical Chemistry Lab. So this was like, I forget how many credit hours it was, but it was like, let me think. I think each lab was 2 credit hours, and then each class was 4. So there was like 12 plus 4, 16 credit hours, all of like upper level chemistry. It was crazy. He asked me, what am I playing? I'm playing Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. Any good physical chemistry videos? Yeah. I don't know if there's any channels that are specifically devoted to physical chemistry, but when I was taking physical chemistry, Khan Academy has actually some really good physical chemistry content, which is insane. I've always had like a great amount of respect for that guy. What's his name? Salman Khan or something like that. I mean, that guy works like so hard, and you can tell he just grinds so much and keeps himself motivated and just burns the midnight oil making this content like day after day after day after day, presumably all day long. I don't know how he can pump out so much content if he's not working all day long. And he's got some really good physical chemistry stuff. So, you know, obviously Khan Academy does not need a shout out for me because Khan Academy is just freaking massive. But big shout out to Khan Academy for good physical chemistry content. I mean, I used it for physical chemistry. I also, when I was taking differential equations, I used Khan Academy for differential equations, and that really helped out. So, yeah, Khan Academy's got some good stuff, man. Definitely don't sleep on it. It's good. But yeah, so to answer your question again, though, this is Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, and this game has some of the best. I don't know how loud I have the music. I don't know if you guys can hear the music very well. I wanted to make sure the music was very you know, quiet compared to my voice, but the music of this game is so good. Oh no! Oh man, I can't believe I just did that. What is the hardest concept in chemistry? I don't know. When I was taking inorganic, there were some pretty hard concepts that involved some pretty complex like matrix math and stuff like that I just didn't understand because I never took like matrix and linear algebra or anything like that. For instance, like in inorganic chemistry, if you ever take inorganic, really the only instance you would ever take inorganic chemistry is if you're a chemistry major. So if you're not a chemistry major, you don't have to worry about it. But there's a concept called, so I'm sure you all know what symmetry is, right? If something has symmetry, you know, like bilateral symmetry means, you know, you can cut it in half and get like two, you know, mirror images on either side. Radial symmetry is when you have like more than one line of symmetry, you know, like a starfish or a jellyfish, they have radial symmetry. But there's actually other types of symmetry. There's, oh man, there's like rotational symmetry, and there's like inversion symmetry. There's improper rotation symmetry. There's like, you know, there's all kinds of these like weird symmetry. They're called symmetry elements and symmetry operations. And you have to be able to look at a molecule and tell, you know, what all in this is an inorganic common inorganic chemistry assignment is that you look at a given molecule and you try to tell, based on the shape and structure of that molecule, what are all of the symmetry elements that apply, and what are all of the symmetry operations that can be. Man, I am really not doing well on this level. It's because I'm just talking about chemistry. If I was really focusing, I'd do better. But so you look at a molecule and you're asked, you know, what are all of the symmetry operations that can be performed on this molecule to provide an indistinguishable, not identical, but indistinguishable result. So in other words, if you have like a square, right? And if you turn that square 90 degrees, right? You're essentially turning that square by a quarter of a turn, right? A quarter of 360 degrees. That would be called a C4. So C is the proper rotation symmetry element, and 4 means it's just a fourth of a full 360 degree turn. So if you turn a square 90 degrees, you get an indistinguishable square, but not an identical square. You would get an identical square if you turned it all the way around 360 degrees. So it's kind of weird. I mean, it's you know, and there, it gets way more advanced than that. Trust me, it gets pretty crazy. Okay, so another message in the chat says, what type of bond is an ionic compound? I'm doing a paper on science and it's quite confusing. Thanks. Good question. I love it. So an ionic bond is basically, so by now you probably understand that, you know, basic like Coulomb's law, you know, like charges repel and opposite charges attract, right? So if you have two positive charges, they're gonna repel one another, and if you have a positive and a negative charge, they're gonna attract one another. And so an ionic bond is basically just a manifestation of the attraction between positive and negative charges, right? And it generally occurs between metals and nonmetals. So metals, among other things, metals have the property of they tend to lose electrons, right? And since electrons are negatively charged, when a metal loses a negatively charged electron, one or more negatively charged electrons, it becomes a positive, what we call ion. An ion is essentially like a charged atom or a group of atoms, right? And so metals, they lose electrons and they form positively charged ions, and they're called cations. So cation's just a synonym for positively charged ion. And then on the other side of the periodic table, you got nonmetals, and they tend to gain electrons, and they form these negatively charged ions called anions, right? And so what an ionic bond is it's essentially just an attraction, a non-directional, what they call a non-directional electrostatic interaction between cations and anions. And so it forms like these three-dimensional structures called lattices, which is a lattice is basically like a three-dimensional repeating array of alternating cations and anions. So the classic example is like sodium chloride, where you look at like, you know, it looks like almost like a cage, you know, like a square, or you know, like a cube sort of thing with a bunch of little dots embedded in it. And if you look at any one of those individual ions, like if you look at a sodium ion, which will generally be shown in like purple, and it'll be surrounded by the green ones, the chloride ions. And if you look at any chloride ion, it'll be surrounded by sodium ions. And so that's basically what an ionic bond is. It's just an attraction between positive and negative ions. Attractions between cations, the positive ones, which are formed from metals, and anions, the negative ones that are formed from nonmetals. So I hope that answers your question. Probably go a little bit more detailed if you want, but I think that's a good, you know, introductory sort of way to introduce the concept. Oh, I need to follow this guy. Come on. Oh, I freaking man, I just keep screwing this level up, you guys. But yeah, Sasha, thanks for the question. And if that doesn't answer your question to your satisfaction, please let me know, and I'll provide a better answer. Maybe I'll even pause the game so I can focus exclusively on your question. All right. Sasha says, okay, thanks. Okay, cool. Dang it, I just missed him. You know what? Screw the bonus level. I'm just going to keep going. Unless, oh yeah, here he goes. Okay. So this is tricky because I have to like follow this guy to his destination. Oh, man. I'm really lacking in my video game quality here. Let's see. Looks like I only am down to one concurrent viewer, so everybody else is kind of tuned out. But I guess Sasha, it's just you and me. You're the only one in here. So I'll probably end the stream. It's been about an hour, so probably a good time to end the stream. But this will be recorded, so to those of you who were in here earlier or just didn't get a chance to hop in here, thank you for watching. Really, really appreciate your continued support. The educational... Oh, just got 5 concurrent viewers. Wow. Okay, I guess we can keep this train going a little bit longer. Hello to all of you who just recently hopped in here. How are you doing? So what I'm doing right now is just chilling, playing a couple games, and answering your questions. Come on. I thought that guy was going to give me something. Mr. Do you do sports? What do you mean? Like, do I watch sports? Or do I play sports? I guess I can answer both of those questions. I like to play basketball. I haven't played in a while. Just, you know, it's hard to find the time to get out, and kids and everything. But I like to play basketball. I played a lot of soccer when I was a kid. And as far as watching sports, like professional sports, I really can't stand them nowadays. All the, you know, the woke social justice-y shit that they're doing. You know, I used to watch sports to sort of escape politics and socioeconomic shit. Now, it's just kind of thrown in my face every time I want to watch an NBA game. I don't like that, so I just tune out. And I'm not the only one. The ratings for like the NBA are like at historic lows. So I know I'm not alone in my lack of desire to watch professional sports right now because of all the politicized bullshit that's going on. But hopefully, you know, it's an election year, so hopefully, you know, by the end of it, you know, these organizations will just knock it off and we can go back to just enjoying sports again. That's my hope. I like this level. I got the little anglerfish sort of providing me some light up here. Ooh, I found an extra life. Sweet. But yeah, like to play basketball. And, you know, I used to like watching sports before they got all political, but not so much anymore. They had to ruin that too. Like these companies are just on a mission to just suck all the fun out of everything that we love. And I think the same is true of video games to a large degree. Video games, they're just not what they used to be. They used to be just pure fun, and now it's just all, you know, how much money can we get out of the player, out of the gamers. You know, there's like a new Call of Duty that comes out every freaking year. You just charge more money and just laugh all the way to the bank. And then as a gamer, you know, if you want to game with all your friends, you know, you're kind of forced to play the latest and greatest games and just buy the new stuff. And, you know, I play a couple of PC games occasionally. I got a gaming laptop primarily so that I can edit my videos faster. And it's been really good for that, but occasionally I'll hop on and play a PC game. But I pretty much swore off consoles. Like, my PS3 was my last console. I never got a PS4. I've never owned an Xbox or anything like that, but yeah, I know I'm kind of off topic from the question of do you do sports, but yeah. Good question, though. I like it. I like it. I used to play basketball a lot when I was in college. They had a pretty big gym with like these 4 indoor courts that you could play basketball on. So you could play like full court 5-on-5 basketball on an indoor court. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. Used to be a lot better at the game too. Now I suck. All right. All right, guys. So I just got a message from the wife telling me she's going to need my help with the baby. So I think I'm going to end the stream pretty soon. If anybody wants to type anything last minute in the chat, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's up. Or, you know, if anybody's feeling super nice and charitable and they want to send me a super chat, that would be greatly appreciated too. But I just want to drive home the announcements the updates that I intended to make. So the updates are, number one, I just ordered some new equipment, excuse me, some new equipment to provide old school chemistry content. It's basically like a boom stand, sort of overhead camera mount. I can put my camcorder on it. I can point down. I just bought some new pens, some new dry erase pens, a new dry erase board, so I can do my content right here at my desk. And I can bang out videos with a much shorter production period, minimal editing, and just get the content out there. So that's the biggest announcement. And then the other one, just wanted to, you know, sort of let you guys know that everything's going well on the home front. You know, second daughter was born recently. She's doing well, very healthy, happy. Everything's good. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wholeheartedly appreciate it, and stay tuned for some actual chemistry content. Looking forward to dropping it on you pretty soon. All right, love you guys. Let's see, how do I end this?